welcome back to EzriLawfirm podcast, the show that shares interesting issues about the law where you can relate with daily life. So in this episode, we'll be talking about starting an e-commerce business in Malaysia. First of all, e-commerce has gained serious tractions over the years, especially with the current global pandemic. More and more people are turning their businesses online as it caters as an option for both offline and also online businesses. Setting up an e-commerce business has also become more manageable as it gains more popularity. However, one must bear in mind that an e-commerce business is tied to the same, if not more, legalities of a physical offline business. We are here to lay down the legal requirements for e-commerce businesses in Malaysia. So first of all, setting up your e-commerce business. You will need to register your business with Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, SSM, to make it a legal company. There are 3 types of business modules you can register as, which is sole proprietorship. The business is solely yours, which is the business liability is your personal liability. Secondly, partnership. You and one more partner share the business. All the partners are liable for the business. Thirdly, is company, where you would like to have a separate entity altogether for your business. Let's put on a special note for foreign citizens. As a foreign citizen who wants to operate a business in Malaysia, you cannot register a sole proprietorship or partner through SSM. Your business has to be established through company, incorporation, or company registration. As a foreigner, you may incorporate a company or register an existing company that you own. Once registration with the SSM is completed, you are free to operate a business in your own free will. You can operate under a different name than the registered one in the SSM. For good measure, check first that websites' domain names are available before settling on your desired business names. Let's move on to what are the applicable laws when operating an e-commerce business. Well, actually, there are no laws governing e-commerce business specifically. There are existing laws that apply to e-commerce business that I will be explaining later. So first off is Communication and Multimedia Act 1998, CMA. This act regulates multimedia and communication in Malaysia. As an e-commerce business operator who would be running content online, this act applies to you. Next is Customer Protection Act 1999, CPA, in other words. The CPA is an act which protects consumers as a whole. This act will bind you in how you interact with consumers. The act also ties with the establishment of the National Consumer Advisory Council and the Tribunal of Consumer Claims and Matters that are connected to them. Thirdly, Consumer Protection, which is Electronic Trade Transaction Regulation 2012. This regulation applies to anyone who operates their business online, whether on their own website or an online marketplace. The regulation also applies to providers of operators on online marketplaces. Next is Contracts Act 1950. This act governs all contracts in Malaysia. You will be dealing with multiple parties which will require contracting on your end as you run your business. Next is Digital Signature Act 1997. This act governs the use of digital signature and matters that are connected with using digital signatures. It is actually important when it comes to signing in your contracts and stuff like that during your e-commerce and also transactions online. Apart from that is also Electronic Commerce Act 2006, ECA. The ECA provides legal recognitions for electronic messages. It includes using electronic messages in commercial transactions to fulfill legal requirements and enable and facilitate commercial transactions through any electronic means and devices. Second last of it is Personal Data Protections Act 2010, Pdpa. This is a very hot topic when it comes to online and also e-commerce businesses. The PDA regulates how each party uses personal data. commonly your website, would collect customers' details which fall under Pdpa protection. This is very important is because whenever online businesses takes over the personal profiles and personal data information, it is important for you to understand what is it all about. Last but not least is Sales of Goods Act 1957, CSGA. This act governs of sale of goods in Malaysia, which applies to e-commerce business as well. Alright, I think I covered on a few topics and also lots of regulations of what e-commerce businesses should do. So we'll be moving on the tax guidelines for e-commerce businesses. In terms of taxation, you'll be found to income tax when you operate an e-commerce business. So briefly, the same tax treatments applies to e-commerce transaction and conventional transaction as well. So a wrap up regarding this topic today. While the above legalities may seem technical and a little bit daunting, they are actually necessary to ensure all e-commerce businesses operate in a valid and also legal business in Malaysia. If you have any further doubts regarding this, you may contact our lawyers for a complimentary consultations as well. That's all for this podcast episode. Do follow our Instagram and also Facebook, EzriLawfirm, and visit our website, news and blog for more readings regarding this topic. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. I'm Zuleika, signing out.